This is Resonance 104.4 FM, flipping marvellous. I'm Nick Hennegan, and welcome to another slice of Literary London, where this time we are actually going to talk about something literary and something in London as opposed to other parts of the world, which has happened over the last few weeks. It's a pleasure to welcome a roll of the drums. I can only use my stomach. We can't afford anything more than that. Someone who I almost consider to be a friend because we've had a couple of pints down a pub on occasions. It is a real pleasure to welcome Kevin McNally. Hello, Kevin.
Hello there, Nick. How are you?
Brilliant, thanks, mate. It's so cool to see you. And I noticed you've got yourself into an outdoor location for this slightly sweltering English sunny afternoon.
Yes, I was trying to do a podcast earlier, and Mr. Branson's Virgin Media has gone up the spout today, so I couldn't. So I've got to come outside for some reason and do it. And I've found a nice shady little nook
Yes.
nearby with a bit of a breeze, so I'm perfectly happy now.
Good old. So there is some soul of goodness in things evil. Did someone else write that? Yes, I do it.
Yes, I think they might have done. Yeah.
So it's lovely to see you. And of course, if you're listening on Resonance FM, that's lovely. But if you go to bohemianbritain.com, you can see us. Oh, yes, in beautiful Technicolor. You can see Kevin's leafy nook, his little glade. And you can also see that I'm holding up this. This is a book. It's called Sons of Soul, written by Kevin R. McNally, who is, of course, our Kev. Really, that's the kind of main reason that we wanted to have a chat to. I wanted to have a chat as well.
Great,
Um,
great.
we have a lot of writers, of course. I mean, but I've got to mention the obvious thing in that because as an actor, you've done rather well actually, which is a lovely thing to say, isn't it? Pirates of the
Not bad.
Caribbean.
Yeah, not bad after 53 years. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean is a fairly massive franchise. Which is that
yeah.
still going on? If you're allowed to say, not there, isn't it?
No, not that I've heard of. No, I think
No.
five was enough. We're all getting on a bit now, anyway.
Yes.
It was 25 years ago that we shot the first one. I mean, it's
Wow.
insane to me that that's the case. Oh, I've just seen a bench free. Hold on.
Oh, go for that bench. Take that bench. Actually, I'll be quiet. Kevin's actually in
There we
West
go.
London. In
Oh,
West
that's
London.
better. I've got me back supported.
Oh, that's right. The wall's not as nice as the trees, but no, you're back
No.
supported, and that's the main thing, really. So yeah, and of course we have something else. I mean, I said we must talk about Sons of Soul, but of
Yeah.
course we have something else in common, not just the fact that we've drunk down the Tabard pub.
Rest
uh,
well.
and I've got a little thing going on there, which I'll just throw my little flower, Winston and
Very
Diane.
nice. I shall
Winston.
be along for that.
Yes, hopefully I shall buy you your fee as well at the end in the bar.
All right.
It only lasts an hour, so it's even better. But also the we actually share an alma mater in a sense because you're from Birmingham as well, aren't you, originally?
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A Brummie, which is
I grew up in Brumar.
busted. Whereabouts, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we first moved when I was very small. I was actually born in Bristol, but we moved to, it's no longer there now, a place called Lorden Road, which was a very old-fashioned exterior loo, back to back,
Oh,
right next to the Blues football ground.
oh right, yeah,
Um,
small heath.
but because we moved in with my grandma, and then she got rehoused in Hay Mills.
Yeah.
So I went to the local school there. And then my parents eventually bought a house in Sheldon. So I sort of did my teenage, my late sort of singles and teenage growing up there and going to schools there. So Sheldon was the place I remember best.
Sheldon Heath Comp. No, that might have been a little bit before your time. Actually,
Probably
before
was,
my
yeah.
time as well, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I say we're talking about the book and the whole reason that you wrote Sons of Soul. But and as an actor, what was it? Do you think was there anything in your background that got you into the arts? What made you want to act in the first
No,
place?
not at all. It was really well, it's a funny story. The first part I ever got, I was in a maths class, which I was famously bad at, and I wasn't paying attention. And the school teacher wrote something weird up on the board, blackboard in those days, then wiped it out and said, "Attention, children, does anybody know what I just wrote on the blackboard?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "My sunbeams are dancing in the meadow below, where daisies and flowers and buttercups grow." She said, "Great, you've got the lead in the school play." So I realized that acting was a reward for not paying attention and being bad at maths, which I knew I could do well. And then on top of that, I did the show, and my mum was so impressed with my performance as the son in the Harvest Festival play. that she bought me, and this will be one for the old folks. She bought me a copy of the Beano and a Mars bar. So
Oh,
I said another reward for not paying attention. So there we go. And then I went to the Birmingham Youth Theatre, and I went to the Birmingham Rep, and then I went to RADA, and then I came out at RADA at the ridiculous young age of 19, and
mm,
started working in television in the 70s,
yeah.
and never looked back really.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, and R.A.D.A, of course, is a very prestigious establishment. Ken Branagh, obviously, Kenneth Branagh was there. Was when you were working with the Birmingham Rep? Was that the old system of rep, proper rep, as it were, where you worked?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I had our school had a very good choir, and so we had played a lot of the theatres in Birmingham, the Alexandra, the Hippodrome, etc., because were touring opera companies or plays would go to the nearest school and say, "Can you give us your four best singers, and we'll put them in the show." And I played at the old Rep, playing a field mouse in Toad of Toad Hall, of which somebody recently sent me a photograph, and I am just absolutely thrilled by it.
oh, how fantastic at the old rep on
So,
Station Street.
yeah, and then the year I did was at the new Birmingham Rep, and it literally was it was different parts, and it was great for me because I was there to do one play, but I left school because I thought, well, if I'm going to be an actor, I'm not going to bother with A levels. And when the director found out, he was so furious. He said, "I'm not putting another child actor on the street. You can stay here till you get into drama school." So I was there for a year playing women, old men, priests. It was a real sort of pre-graduate training. So I was very lucky for that, and I adore the late Michael Simpson for what he did for me
Oh,
then.
yes, of course. I met him a couple of times actually. John Adams was my go-to chap at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre. And
Yeah.
the old rep system, basically, so you were an actor, and then you basically worked for that theatre. And as you say, as you did, played all sorts of different characters and parts.
Great. It was great.
Yeah, I often wonder why. I mean, I guess it was to do with funding. I think that it all changed, but yeah, I wondered why that
Well, it's
continued.
sort of to do with funding, I think. I mean, it's interesting. I actually teach now. Or I don't actually teach. I direct the final films at a year's film school called Real Scene because I don't really see the point anymore of people spending thousands of pounds going to a drama school for 3 years
Hmm.
to teach them solely about working on the stage when there are no reps now. The West End is full of musicals, and to get a lead in something, you've got to be a soap star. So there just isn't the career for it. So we've really got to change the way we introduce people to the work nowadays.
Yes, I know it is interesting how it's all changed. I was going to do a thing about vertical dramas. I haven't quite sussed out what they are yet, but they're very big dramas for about three or 2 or 3 minutes for the kind of iPhone generation, as it were.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
No. I mean, RADA must have been a big deal.
It was, and it was great because it was in London, and I had experience in the theatre, and so really the way I paid to get through RADA was, which I couldn't really do it now. It's exhausting all day at RADA, and then I would go to the Duchess Theatre at night and be the lighting camera board operator for a play called O Calcutta,
Oh
uh,
wow.
which was interesting. I still remember the lyrics to the song Knickers, which I sing frequently when I get drunk at parties.
Which we probably can't repeat here. Just,
I won't
just
do it on the. I won't do it on your show. No.
no. I mean, because Old Calcutta was incredible, was it? It was the first, the old, without getting too much into the history of theatre, but every play had to be approved by the censor, the Lord Chamberlain's office, didn't it?
The Lord Chamberlain's office, yeah, and that was still in existence when I started, and I think O Calcutta was probably became about because it was the year before the Chamberlain's office had stopped, so they had nudity, they had sex jokes, they had rude songs, and they just wouldn't have been allowed to do it the year before. So yeah, but that well remembered, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And I know I've written a few plays myself, and still, I used to anyway. I'm not so much now. We'll get a letter from I think it was the British Library that by law you have to lodge your script with the British Library, and it was sort of a hangback, I think, to those days
Is that real?
of the
Wow.
yes, it's yeah, a hangback to those days. But
Oh,
so,
they are up themselves, aren't they? These people.
but I don't like it up. No, I can't say.
They don't.
But it's so what I mean when you came out of drama school. So what did you do the sort of usual thing of waiting tables? Was it a struggle? I mean, what
No,
happened?
in fact, I'm the only the only actor I know who's never had to do another job, because I came out and this very old-fashioned agent took me on, and it was the days when they all used to live on the South Coast and they'd travel in with television producers, and on the train they'd say, "Oh, I've got this young actor now," and for the 1970s. I mean, I did a lot of plays, but did a lot of old-fashioned television. Most of it not very good. Uh, Multi-camera, studio dramas. You know, you'd rehearse for a week and you'd record it for 3 hours on a Saturday. I did all sorts. Duchess of Duke Street, Poldark. The only one that was really good enough to that I made in the 70s to still be shown today, because it was made like a film by the great Herbie Wise, is I, Claudius.
Oh,
That
yeah.
still regularly shows. And my God, that was my postgrad. I remember them coming to me and saying, we'll put your name up on the blackboard and your time call each day. I said, don't bother. I'll be here from the morning till the night watching these amazing actors and learning how to do it.
Yeah, so Derek Jacobi was famously
Eric
in
Jacobi,
that
Patrick
Claudius.
Stewart,
Yeah,
uh, a lot of whom have gone now, of course, but the lovely Sean Phillips, who I see at the Tabard regularly.
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I worked with Derek Jacobi. Did a version of I did a version of Hamlet, and he did the voice
Oh,
of old
oh,
Hamlet.
brilliant.
And work, it was incredible. I was so nervous because it's Sir Derek Jacobi, and
So,
just
Derek,
what a nice guy. I mean, he was literally
wonderful
being
fellow.
praised. He was very, very good. But
Yeah, it's wonderful to have known him all these years. And
yes, yes.
I hope to get to see him on the stage very soon. Again.
It always sort of surprises me, shocks me that it's such a tough business in so many ways, and yet full of so many really nice people. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we're saying that maybe because we have to stick together through adversity. But
No, but most people in the business are great. You meet very few a-holes, as we will say. And I say to my young students, I say, listen, think about how you behave on set, because if somebody comes, say a person's called John Smith, say a person comes to me and says, "Oh, well, you've taught this guy John Smith. We'd like to give him a part in our play." I say, I don't have to slag you off. I just have to go, "Mm." And they go, "Okay, thanks for the warning. He won't get the part."
it's,
Um,
I
so
mean,
behave yourself
yeah, yeah. I mean,
and act like a decent human being.
what would you say to anyone considering becoming an actor now?
I'd say just work as hard as you can and take every role you can, because you can't just go from job. Somebody said to me the other day, one of the students, "What's it like getting into this business?" And I say, "I don't know. I didn't get into this business. I had the chance to do hundreds of roles, make mistakes. But now for you, it's like every offer is make or break. And that's a real pressure to put on young actors, I think."
Yes, I mean, it was interesting. My partner, Rebecca Rayburn, she went to drama school, she went to Webber Douglas. And it was the
Right.
conversations that we used to have with the students were talking about what they were going to do. Would they do a soap or would they not do a soap? And of course, what the reality was, they did whatever they could. And
Whatever you can, you do it. You get the practice, yeah.
yeah, and we've got I mean, so moving on to the book then, Sons of Soul by Kevin
Yes.
R. McNally. What was the motivation for doing this? I mean, we had a little chat in the pub, and I read this when it first came out a few years ago. It was launched at the Chiswick Book Festival, which is a lovely little thing that happens in West London every year. So I read it a few years ago, and I was kind of slightly minded of some of the. When I was younger, a friend of my older brothers used to bring me these sort of Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov, all these kind of 70s sci-fi books, and there were.
You've exactly got the source. My love is of the classic era of sci-fi between the 40s and the 50s. Ray Bradbury, Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke, Robert Heinlein. So it was very much influenced by that and their amazing ability to world build.
Yeah.
Um, the other side of it, it's a comic book, and it reveals my love of P.G. Wodehouse, which in the character of Percy Prendergast, the keen-eyed of you will spot that humor. But the reason it happened was back in the day before Hollywood died, we used to have a thing in Hollywood called pilot season. And you would go over and you'd interview for pilots, and I would go over for 2, 3 months, and it was starting to die as an institute. So I thought, I've got to do something. I can't just sit here up in the Hollywood Hills drinking wine all the time. So I thought, I've always wanted to write. I'll write a book. So I did 5 hours a day, and by the time I came home, I had a first draft. Well, I sort of forgot about it really, because I thought, I just wrote it in one go to keep myself occupied. And then about 7 years later, I was working with this director, and he said, "Have you any major regrets?" And I went, "Yeah, I wrote a book and I didn't get it published." He said, "Well, I publish horror and sci-fi. Send it to me." And within 3 weeks, it was out.
Oh, how
So I'm
fantastic! How
so
brilliant!
pleased about that. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was going to ask you about the publishing process because we have a lot of writers that follow us on this on
yeah.
bohemianbritain.com.
Well,
That
it means it's a small publishing company, Domain Publishing, and they specialize in horror and sci-fi. But we're actually both really busy. But we're intending to have a meeting soon to get it just off Amazon and get it in some bookshops, which I
yeah.
would like. But also, I do conventions all the time, and so I take them along and I sign them for people, and I sell more books that way than I do off Amazon, I think.
Oh, you say sci-fi conventions or book conventions?
No, no,
What?
no, just any conventions, conventions that I go along to.
Sorry.
People want my signature and my autograph, and I go, "Oh, by the way, are you interested in sci-fi?" And I'll bring the book up and
You,
give it to them, personally signed at a very reasonable price.
you actually signed mine as well, but you gave me your
I,
email as well, which I won't show the
yeah,
text.
yeah. Where's my money? I'm still
Yeah,
waiting for my 50
no,
bucks. Did you
I've got
take
to
it?
buy it you later down the pub.
All
Oh,
right. Okay. Great.
I'm Nick Hennegan. This is Residence 104.4 FM. It's literally London. We're also on bohemianbritain.com in Vision. And I am chatting to the huge talent that is Kevin McNally. We're going to talk about Sons of Salt, not only Pirates of the Caribbean, a fantastic film career. So did you always want to write a book? Was it always a niggle there? Was it something that in your background that made you think, or was it?
Yes, because I'd written for television a lot. And with my writing partner Bernard Strother, who's sadly passed recently. And it used to be great. We would go in and we'd sit down, have a drink in a pub with the producer and the director, and they'd say, "What do you got?" And we'd say, "Arthur Daly has an argument with the man behind the bar about a past incident," and they'd go, "Great, go and write it." And then slowly over the 90s, it became. I wrote a bit for the TV series of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and it started to become okay. Well, you've got an idea. Give us some a breakdown, and then give us a breakdown of the scenes, and then give us some demonstration of some of the writing in the scenes. None of which you were getting paid for. And I went, "This is being taken over by management. I'm not doing this anymore." But over the course of the 2000s, I went, "I really miss writing. Really miss sitting in a room for 5 hours and writing." So I wanted to do a book, and of course, sci-fi was my favorite. So it was obvious I was going to do that.
Yeah, and you built. I mean, you're talking about world building. I just read you the bit at the back where you know it. Tony Smith and Percival Pendergrast, genius graduates of the Edinburgh Space Propulsion Academy. Why Edinburgh?
I don't know. I thought it, but I just didn't want to be London.
Yes,
But
go
the
for it.
most important thing is, why is the Europeans launch pad into space in Norfolk? Well, it's because my daughter lives there,
Of course.
and I thought she might start it in later in her life.
Yes, she will do. And of course, yeah, fewer people to drop on. But basically, so the Edinburgh Space Propulsion Academy, two genius, they've developed a space engine which will revolutionize travel. Let me get that in vision. And trade around the colonies and beyond. A project that will do a lot of good for mankind and may be very lucrative to boot. Many are interested, but some are unwilling to pay. I quite like this way. After being abducted from the Gagarin station, I grew up, as it says, as in Yuri Gagarin, I'm presuming. Yeah,
Of
I
course,
grew
yeah,
up
yeah,
a small. I don't know. I grew up as a small boy when all the Apollo stuff was happening, and it was
yeah,
just.
yeah.
In fact, I have to say, I read. I think it was quite a funny scene in a play called Powell's, Pete, Andy, Linda Sue, about one of the kids wanted to. It was basically sort of my life story, being brought up at a county estate in Birmingham. One of the kids wanted to stay up to watch the lunar landing, and it caused all sorts of consternation because, of course, it was 3 o'clock in the morning our
It
time.
was. I was very lucky that my parents, who weren't interested in the space race at all, were decorating that week.
Right.
And so the television, the one television,
Yes,
was moved up into my bedroom, so that at 2 o'clock in the morning, I swiftly put it on and sat and stayed up all night and watched the moon landing.
you have no idea how jealous I am of you now. That's
I saw it live.
Wow.
the
I
age
mean,
of, what was it, 12, 13 years old? Yeah, yeah.
that's one small step for a man, one
One
giant.
giant leap for a kid who's staying up late.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the pictures were a bit shaky, weren't they? I
Yeah,
mean,
they were, yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, but are you excited about what's happening in space travel now? The notion of colonies on Mars and, the going back to
Well,
the moon.
I'm very excited about Artemis. I think that's wonderful, and I love, the satellites that are going to taking pictures of all of our planets. But it seems to me, and this goes against the grain a little, if we could afford to go and inhabit Mars, we could possibly afford to make the Earth a little bit better.
Yes,
Do you
yes,
know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think they're places to visit, but the idea of colonies, because the only people who want to do colonies is to search for gold, minerals, and uranium. It's just a totally a capitalist notion. It's not for any scientific research, although scientific research would go on alongside it. So I'm not so excited about that part. But when you see after 9 years that little spaceship getting to Pluto and giving us a look at its coverage and the wonderful pictures we've recently had of Jupiter, and finally it's conked out, but that fantastic I can't remember its name now, but that has mapped so much of Mars, found evidence of water, things like that. I mean, it's wonderful to see. And the fact that we have Voyager um,
yes, yes,
that's still sending us messages from one light day away. It's
yeah.
incredible.
Incredible. Yeah, literally it is, isn't it? I mean, and I suppose that the excitement of the initial moon landing was only really driven by the politics of America getting there before Russia.
Before Russia, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
which
always makes me think about moon landing deniers. Is that, do you think Russia would have helped them cover up the fact they'd actually landed on the moon? I don't
yeah,
think. I think they'd have gone, no, they didn't. We've got bloody cameras pointed at it. There's nobody there.
yes,
Anyway, anyone who denies the moon landing after 2014 is an idiot because we had the low lunar orbiter that has taken photographs of every single one of the lunar landing stages. So you've got to be really thick to be a moon denier now.
yeah, I think so. I'll agree with that as well. I mean, it's still, I say, I still love the fact that, the notion of another footprint on another, well, on the moon, of course, which isn't exactly another planet. It just feels
No,
so,
satellite, but I can't wait. I think it's going to be Artemis 4. I think they're hoping will be the next moon landing, and and a lot of people are very happy because it won't just be three white guys,
yeah, yeah,
which is great. You know.
yeah. A proper landing. Would you go to the moon if you had a chance?
Yes, absolutely, I would.
I don't know why I asked that because, yeah, I would as well.
Absolutely, I would. Yeah.
I was always quite scared as a boy by the training that the astronauts had to go through with
Well, and I think that's what makes it impractical. I'm far too old to do that training. But if I was offered, like William Shatner, the chance to even do a suborbital hop or go into orbit, I would do that as well.
yeah, boldly go where nobody
Boldly
has
go.
gone
Yeah.
before. So just again, give us the précis. I've started to read about the back of the book here. So give us a précis of the story because well, no, tell us about the story.
Well, it's about two geniuses, one of them really wanting to help mankind and the other one wanting to make a lot of money, who invent this new propulsion. And they get abducted, and they really get abducted all around the solar system by people who, as I say, want it but won't pay for it. And they go to, and I really had a long think about where we go. So we go to Titan, which is a moon of Jupiter, where we go to the moon. We're in space a lot, and what starts it all is that we have the Alpha Centauri is a fascist solar system, and they're sending their ambassador over, and they arrange for the Earth president to be killed, and so there's a war between Earth and Alpha Centauri, which then, if they think things were bad, Percy and I can't remember the name of the character now. Uh,
Tony,
yeah, Smith and Prendergast.
Tony, yeah,
They get involved in it because the person who gets their propulsion is going to win the war. So then the Earth believes that they're willing participants, so that they're trying to catch them to kill them. So it goes really really badly for them, but they eventually get through it, and then at the end of the book, they get on somebody's spaceship and they get knocked out and they don't know where they're going to wake up. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to write Smith and Prendergast Meet the Iridians. So, but look out for that in the next couple of years.
I was going to say there's got to be a sequel. So
Oh,
you
it has
can
to
have
be.
it.
Well, there's going to be three eventually.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, because we're going to meet Betty's mother, who she thinks is fantastic and is actually a sadist living on Sirius, or a planet of Sirius.
I mean, it was, as you say, it's very humorous as well, isn't it? And in a
Would
sense,
you like?
the politics, it's situation normal, isn't it? Situation empire,
Yeah.
and but what? So, how do you write? Have you got longhand, or have you got a particular favorite program that you use?
No, I merely write on a computer. Back then, I guess I would write on my iPad now. Only the fact I just turned it off and can't remember the PIN number to open it up again. So I'm going to Chicago tomorrow, so I'll have to go straight to the Apple store and get them to reset it for me. But
Oh,
yeah, I like to write on a computer. Yeah,
yeah.
but
No,
always have, because even when Bernard and I started writing in the late '80s, we bought a very early computer and typed it all up so that we didn't have to keep on changing, the pages we'd written with each other. We could just add to each other's work. So I've always written electronically. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's just interesting. A lot of writers that we had a big debate about which was the best software, computer software, a little while ago. I shan't tax you with that right now because I'm still none the wiser. But oh gosh, we're nearly out of time. So Kevin, where can we find Sons of Soul?
On Amazon, Sons of Soul, Kevin R. McNally, very cheap. And then if we meet up at a convention, I will sign it for you.
Brilliant. And if you're watching on Bohemian Britain now, I'm holding up the front of the book. You can see my copy. That
Oh,
was
let me tell you about that picture.
yeah.
The picture on the book, the wonderful guy who did the design, that is the original design for the front of Robert Heinlein's Have Spacesuit Will Travel.
Oh
And
wow.
the day he was designing it, it became available to the public. And I
Love.
said, 1,000 quid, put it on the front of the book.
How fab.
So
And
it's a wonderful connection to my hero writers. Yeah.
yeah, oh how cool. I didn't know that. I mean, I read a bit at the back, but yeah, Adrian Baldwin, wasn't it? I think he did the cover art.
Adrian Baldwin, yeah, a genius. And a
Brilliant.
very good writer himself as well.
Oh, brilliant. So that's it. Thank you. We've run out of time, but thank you so much for your time, Kevin. And it looks very nice. I appreciate your studio. Little
It's lovely, very nice.
walking. So the book is called Sons of Salt. It's published by Domain. I've said that right,
Yeah.
haven't I? Domain.
The main
Kevin
publishing.
Kevin R. McNally, available in all online, good online Amazon stores at the moment. And you say if you see Kevin, he'll sign it for you.
Yeah.
And the chances are I might have to see you fairly soon down a pub that we know fairly locally in West London, Kevin.
Well, give it a week till I get back from Chiswick, and I'll see you there.
Oh, from
I
Chills.
mean,
Oh,
till I get
yes, you're
back
going
from
to look at
Chicago and
yeah,
see you there. Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good luck. Is that? Yeah, oh, well, that's what it's for. But anyway, oh, fantastic! Thank you so much for your time, Kevin, and good luck with everything else. And as I say, I'm sure we'll see you very soon. And thank you very much for your time as well.
Oh, there we
I'm
are.
Yes, sorry, sorry. Yes, thank you very much for your time as well. I shall see you next time.
See you
I'm
next time, Nick.
Hennegan. We're on bohemianbritain.com in Vision. Also, of course, you can get us on various YouTube channels. You can see Kevin and I, and Kevin's beautiful background where he is at the moment. But chiefly, this is Literary London on Resonance 104.4 FM.